I am, yes, I am you. And you are dearly, dearly loved. Welcome, everyone. Welcome in this space we are creating here right now. It is a space that I will not define in terms which you have heard before. It is not a space which will I try to express myself upon. This is not my intention. The space that is being created here right now, it's your space. It's not mine. I am just a figment of your imagination. Something you create in your consciousness, in your reality. A creation that will allow you to experience truth. So here I am. And I am the 12. I am the white guild. I am Satya. I am all that is. And so are you. You are the 12 also. These are your words, your space, not mine. Again, I am just your imagination coming to life. And isn't everything around you, Imzaia, a part of your imagination? So, how about you now take a moment before we start this exchange here today to breathe in the breath of spring. And as you breathe out, know that your essence will now start traveling the earth that is your creation. Oh, Imzaia, it is such a pleasure to be here with you today. As I carry these vibrations that you call the 12, so do you. You have been listening to yourselves all along, Imzaia, and you have made things quite complex for yourself, haven't you? All these masters you have created, all these angels, all these energy beings that would burst through the veil and arrive here on earth, and for what purpose? So that you could worship them, as you have done in your churches, as you have done in your religions such a long time ago, and you're still doing it today. Well, that cannot be the point of an esoteric existence, of a spiritual existence, can it? I have said so yesterday, and I will say again so today. That which you have called Cryon, or the group, or the 12, or the family, or Michael, Saint Germain, all these others, they are part of you. I do not think I can, and I am you, tolerate anymore that you come to places like this as a place of worship. And even though you don't think you do this, you have been doing it, haven't you? Haven't you been putting this information that you have been receiving in the last few months, haven't you been putting this above you? As though it is information that you should be thankful for, information that is allowed to exist in your reality right now. And again, I implore you, everything you have ever done, everyone you have ever met, all the places you have ever visited, every word you have ever heard has been your creation. For you see, Imzaia, I will no longer speak with names other than myself, other than I, for I am that I am. All these other names are just a way to keep you entertained, is it not? At the same time, it keeps you away from the truth that you are all that is. Is this a truth that we can live with? Is this a truth that we can cherish? That you are all that is? It's an abstract concept. Abstract indeed, for it lives in the mind. And we all know about the mind, what it does to you. You also know about the brain, don't you? You know there are 5 parts of the brain. The third of which is called the human brain. It's the place where memories are kept. Things are hidden. Things are stored away in nice little packages of thoughts. Packages of thought that, when they are allowed to blossom again, can once again become the flower. And this is why we have been thinking a lot. All of us, you and I, about patience. You see, today, I, which is you, will do a little experiment with you. I will invite you later today to delete, or actually to remove, your third brain. Together with you, I will install there that which you call the dolphin brain. I will explain so in a minute why this is going to take place. It's very, very easy actually. You see, the third brain of humanity is a brain that only allows you to store information which is part of your past tense, your past timeline. You can never access and use and store information in the third brain when you are in the now. Because in the now, there is no actual experience. There is no actual thought. There is no actual memory. And it is our memory that creates our identities. And if there is something that I wish to take from you, and this is the only thing I will ever take from you, if you allow me to do so, then it's your identity. Believe me, it won't get me far. It won't make me rich. It won't give me power. It will only give me the power of allowing you to let go. So as you live in the now, which is the most sacred space available to you at any given point in time, as you live in the now, I kindly invite you to erase your past thinking, your past fear, your past limitations, your past illusion. It's all here, right here, the third brain. The trouble is, however, if you will lose this part of yourself, you will, well, how shall I say this in terms that will not make you run away? You will no longer be who you are, for you will be who you are. Do you understand? There is no point then in going back. There is no point then in trying to revisit old past experiences. And this is what you do so many times of the day, so many moments of the day even. Oh, there is not one of you who came through these doors just now without thinking back of the last time you were here? Or maybe you were thinking back of another time when you met some of these people, Imzaia, loved ones, that I hear right now. This too is staying out of the now moment. Using your past memory is staying out of your now moment. I can tell you this. This body I now sit in right now used to have a lot of past moments. Used to have a lot of clinging to the past, did it not? Had a fear of money because that is what it had been taught. Had a fear of love. So many times it had been hurt. Or did it? Didn't it just allow itself to be hurt? All these things are meaningless. Can you live with this concept, Imzaia? Can you live with the fact that those who gave you birth are meaningless, for they are in the past? Can you live with the fact that those you have seen today before you arrived here are now meaningless, for they are in your past? And all you see around you right now is an expression of you, taking place in what appears to be several different bodies and several different identities. Interesting. And that is why I said at the beginning of this exchange between us, I am, yes, I am you, and you are dearly loved. This is how I express my love for myself, by showing it to you. It's the only way actually I know how to express my love for myself. By showing it to a little spider that was sitting on the wall there the other day. You tend to kill insects. While insects are just part of the game of geometry. Your creation. So, are we ready to look at the other angle of time? The future. This is a place. Oh, this is a place. It's bigger than the present, you know. Much, much bigger. If you were to take the future as an actual place, an actual planet, it would be 3 times the size of this earth today. It would have to be. Your past lives there sometimes in the future. Best case scenario, your now will live there sometimes, but your future self is constantly living there. Now, when we began this meeting today, I gave you a Lemurian principle. Eai, oiai. As it is, so it shall be. The future is not taking place in a time frame. It is taking place in your hearts themselves. When you worry about the future, you take the future out of your own heart and you put it in the hands of someone, a group of people, constantly trying to create your future for you. Are you going to tolerate this? Are you going to sit here and do nothing while your future is being taken away from you right now? It's happening right now. Even when you're hearing these words, there's thoughts about tonight or tomorrow, yesterday. And every time you do this, you leave your sacred space, you start to grow older. You start to develop disease. For the only place where energy can actually truly flow is in the consciousness of the now, Imzaia. This being said, that you have a tendency to run away from who you are right now, what else might be the point of the third brain? It has served you well, and you should thank it. It has been one of your most imaginative, yes, indeed, magnificent creations. But now it is time to say goodbye. The difference then, dear Imzaia, between what you have called the third brain, the human brain, and what we are calling, me and my friends, are calling the dolphin brain, is that this is not linear, it is holographic in nature. What you would call lemniscarian or infinite. And why is this so? Because the dolphin, you see, knows the eya-i, oya-i principle. It knows that the future and the past are being created in the now. And this is the sense of true holography. Is it not? Is it not that when you have a hologram of thoughts, matter, collapsing into your very thought patterns, that these are always taking place in a central position? And as they do, as you make a choice in the central now, you send out this Syrian pulse, do you not? We have talked about this last time. It's a method of creation, sending out an infinity pulse based on magnetism. It's based on the knowledge that you have been taught belongs to Sirius. Yet again, I am telling you here today that Sirius is just a figment of your imagination. Like every other universe, like every other galaxy. You do realize, and by the fact that you are sitting right here, listening to me, being the supposed teacher, that you are the teacher yourselves. For I have had my experience. I have had my truth. I have lived it. It's not yours. It's mine. What I want to do to you. Oh, there's so many things I want to do to you. First of all, I want to help you to find your own truth. Have you ever found truth in the past? Have you ever found experience in the past? Have you ever experienced the future in the now? No, you haven't. It is impossible to experience the future in the now. So let us let go of these concepts. The only thing that a dolphin brain is basically good for is creating in the now holographic potential. And as it creates this on its vertical axis, it will emit Syrian pulses of infinity, showing you all the potentials of one singular decision. This is mastery. This is what it means to be sovereign. That one single step, one single decision, Imzaia, immediately opens up the energy, the potential and the consciousness of everything that might follow. Only it isn't put in a linear time frame, it is just put in that singular moment. This is why a dolphin has the ability to simply vanish from the place it was. It uses water to do so, water and magnetism. I will come back to these things in a later stage. But it just uses the now potential, the moment of now, collapsing every future option, every past expression of the now, and living all the energy in this very instant. This is what it means to be immortal. This is what it means to have the kingdom within you, so to speak. This is what it means to be a god on this planet Earth. And you are all gods. For you see, as you sit here in this group today, you might look around you and you might wonder how it could be so that if you are indeed the creator of all that is, then what are all these other people doing here? For they do believe that they are the creator as well. No? Ah well. This is what it means to be sovereign. You, as the creator of your own life, are creating sovereign entities, separate from yourself, yet existing within your universe. This is grand, indeed, that you would come here and have the audacity to create a reality, and in doing so, creating infinity itself. For you are constantly recreating yourself, are you not? And how do you know you have found yourself again? Your own creation? How can you tell if this is indeed your very creation? If the trees you see out there are yours? If you see the clouds passing by, they are yours? If you see the sun shining through the sky, well, it is your diamond. You should be proud of it. How do you know? Very simple. Very simple concept indeed. You might have heard about it in past experiences. It is the concept called love. Have you ever heard of love, Imzaia? You know that the word Imzaia itself is actually an expression of love. But not the love that you think you possess. For love is something you cannot truly possess. It only exists when it is in motion, when it is in transit, when it is in a state of creation. When it is not, it is just an illusion. And you have been given so many illusions in your time. Let us begin. The first illusion you were ever given, namely the fact that you were born. Were you? You are sitting here in a body, yes. But if you are the creator, how can you be born into your own creation? That would imply that your creation existed in a time before you even existed. How could this be? You are the only creation. And dear keeper, your daughter is coming. So, this always happens, you know. This always happens when we talk about topics of this sort. It happened yesterday. It happened today. And it will happen tomorrow. You create diversion. You create things in your reality that can come and take your mind away for a second, so that your mind can once again start to ponder about things. Another diversion. Wonderful. The actual one I created yesterday, did I not? You always do this. You do this in your lives as well. You create diversions that will take you away from your own truth. Why? So that you can fall asleep. Do you know it is not a natural state to be asleep? It is not. You can just shift dimension, shift consciousness, and shift reality. So this process called sleep is not really something that is happening, that is taking place in a world that is separate from you. Do you really think, Imzaia, that when you close those lovely, beautiful eyes of yours, that the world is still here? Do you really believe that when you close those eyes and you drift off into your own vibration and all its limitless expression, that you are still here? Yes, you might create an abstract world in your head where you think things are taking place, and you have created this world with such beauty and such magnificence that it actually appears that 8 billion people are living lives separate from you. And those of you who dare to dream bigger even have concepts of over 250,000 extraterrestrial cultures, alien cultures. That much you have segmented yourselves, billions and billions and billions of time, so that you could believe when you close your eyes, the world still continues. It does not. This is a different thinking process, is it not? I understand that it is difficult for you to grasp that your loved ones, your friends and your family and even the people you see here are not really there. And yet they are your creation, so they are there. When I say just now that love is the key and the measuring instrument, it is true. Because you see, in this human experience that I now again inhabit, together with you, we are all in this together, aren't we? It is very important to see things on two different layers. I don't like to do this. I don't like to create layers for you or levels or whatever. It just confuses your mind and makes separation happen in your brain. But for the sake of argument, I am going to think with you for a second in two levels. The first level is going to be a level you know as Earth. It is a level of beauty, a level of experience, a level of enjoying the sun, enjoying the jumping in nature as we have all been doing, those who dare to let themselves go. It is a level, a layer, where you love one another, where you find a mate, where you come together and go away again, where you find yourself, where you enjoy all that is. This is the first level. You know this level because you have been living in it. Second level is more abstract. And this is where I want to take you today, for it is necessary. If I wouldn't do this, I would keep you in your golden cage. And I don't want to keep you in your golden cage. This is why I am here right now. Why you have called me into being. Why you have created me and this voice you are hearing right now. To be set free out of your golden cage. And you all have one. Some cages are bigger than others. Some are more polished. Some appear so desolate and so dull that you have lost all of your vigor in life. Yet it is a golden cage, whether you suffer from it or whether you are experiencing joy from it. It is a cage that is taking place again in the brain. And it is your reality. Haven't you ever thought that you wanted to be more than you are today? Well, you are more. You've always been more. Most of you don't see it. And this is why, in the past, I, as the 12, have been talking to you about your akane and opening up the akane, opening up the vibrations, opening up the frequencies, the variables, the sea of potential. Behind that, the monoids. It's only been an expression of letting you experience that you are more than you are. Is this real? This akane thing you are working with? Yes. Is it an illusion? Yes. Are you? Yes. And now that you have learned how to work with this akane and everything it entails, you have experienced, Imzaia, that you can be anybody that you want to be. You can express yourselves in any way you see fit. But there is also a danger. We have shown this danger yesterday to our dear keeper, have we not? There is a danger of those giving you what you want so that you will stop looking for what you truly want. And this is why these things must be said here today about the akane. It's a good tool. It's not my tool, it's yours. It's no longer my truth, it's yours. To do with as you see fit. You want to turn it into 14 vibrations? Go right ahead. You want to delete it from your memory? Go right ahead. But just remember, you can create your life any way you see fit. These vibrations are real, yes. In this universe we have created here together. These frequencies are real, yes, as well. But we now come to a very important point, and one that everyone has been missing. A point of separation and reunification. I have told you this before, but you haven't listened. And it is difficult to actually grow the ears to listen to what I'm going to tell you now. But if there is one group that can do it, one reality that can understand it, then it is yours. Otherwise it wouldn't be coming out of my mouth right now. You see, first of all, the world that you see around you, it isn't there. The body that you see around you, it isn't there. All that is you. All that is. And I say this in the most non-dualistic possibilities of the word. You. In non-dualism, you does not imply not you. There is a not you, but it isn't you. You know what I mean? And then again, who is this you? What is this concept of you? It is all there is. So, if you look around you, your clothes on your body, and the things you see in this room, it's all you. It's not just being created by you. It is not just something that belongs to you. It is you. There is no separation from the pillow you are sitting upon now. The door there in the doorway, obviously. There is no separation between you and the fridge. There is no separation between you and the clouds. You are all creating it. It is you. And if you do not learn this truth, you will never escape reality. You understand? Oh yes, you do understand. You have always understood. But do you live it? Do you exist in it? Is it your truth? Or is this something you just come to listen to on a sunny Sunday afternoon because your television screens aren't showing you what you want? Oh, then again, the screen is you. So maybe you can change what is being shown. All these things are possible, you know. Oh yes, and all these things that were once spoken a long, long time ago, walking on water, turning water into wine, all these things are possible. You can create a thunderstorm right now. In here, if you so choose. You can do all these things. Then again, as I told this dear, dear, dear woman here the other day, there's a problem with this sort of miracle. You will get stuck in 3D if you use it. You know why? Several reasons actually. First of one, you will get addicted to it. Oh yes, I see your addictive natures. You will get addicted to it. Second of all, it will give you a sense of power over others. And third, it means nothing. Nothing. Because then again, is this the point why you have been coming to this sort of gathering in the course of the last few years? That you can move a pen? Hosanna. Hallelujah. The pen has shifted. Or maybe it's just crazy. Who knows? These things are not important. What is important is that you see these things for what they are. Ways of showing you that the reality is not real. And for those of you who have gotten to, know yourselves and spend some time with yourselves, I have given you these little tricks already. I have shown you these things. And they mean nothing. So, what is meaning then? meaning means nothing as well. However, if you start to realize that everything around you is you, then you will start to see the reality around you as a way of communication. I have told you last week that the energy of Sirius is constantly communicating with you, Imzaia, through the sun. There are people here who see the solar spots right now, even on their body. This is the sun communicating with you. This is your reality communicating with you. And why? Because all of these things you see around you, they just have one desire. They want to be whole again. They want to be you again. They want to be acknowledged again as your creation. The only thing a creation ever wants is acknowledgement from its creator. That's what you have been doing as you have been looking for God in the last thousands of years. You just wanted to be acknowledged that you were real, that you existed, that you actually had a purpose. There is nothing more grave or disruptive to an energy pattern than to have no purpose. You know when you enter into depression, right? It's when you have no purpose. It's when you know not what to do with yourselves, with your lives. When you question everything around you because you are questioning your own frequency as a creator. And that's why you have been looking for God. And you have found God. Sitting on your chair. So the creator you have always been looking for was you. And now that you know this, we will no longer stand for a continuous rehash of old information. It is time to face the truth and to act and to make a choice. Myself and my partners, my friends, those you have heard channeled here before, we haven't put this whole thing together, this whole sequence of events into motion, so that now nothing could happen. And all of us are you as well. So maybe you should start asking yourselves the question, why am I here in the now? You will always find the answer. Always. And when you ask this question, you will know that there are no more questions, that there is no more need for other things to be acknowledged in your life. They just are what they are. Okay. This being said, it is time for the next step. If everything else around you is just separation, and everything else around you is in fact a part of you that is waiting to be reunited with you, how do you let this reunification take place? Well, it's very simple. Forgiveness. Forgiveness. Forgiveness for the fact that this creation of yours actually believed it was separate from you. Forgiveness for the fact that this separation was expressed in fear, or pain, or angst, or hate, sadness, death even. All these things are just signals showing you who you are and what you have separated from yourselves. Now, this abstract concept, how can you actually make this into a reality? Now, we will do this after the break. I'll show you this after the break. But there is one more thing I want to talk to you about. And it will also be the title for this exchange we are having. This exchange of insight. And it will be called Talking Nonsense. For that is what we are doing right now. You and I. We are talking nonsense. Most of this world would say what we are saying right now is nonsense. Oh, people living in the houses, not even 100 meters removed from this building and from the place you are sitting right now, are calling this nonsense. So what is this nonsense? Sense is just an expression of the senses, right? Senses, and we will wait to continue, for this is pretty important stuff. Your senses are not that passive thing you think it to be. It is very active indeed. It is your magic wand. Your eyes are creating your reality. Your ears are creating your reality. Your nose and your mouth and your touch. Oh, your touch is constantly creating reality. And that's why I love to hug you so much. That's why I love to express my love for you in this way, because in that way I acknowledge you as my creation and you as my creator, because I touch you. I acknowledge you in my world and get acknowledged. So these senses, this active expression of creative power, there's a lot to be done here. They are creating you every single moment. Back to the nonsense. I have told you about energy, about the mind. I have told you about consciousness. And you have celebrated consciousness. You have looked at consciousness as though it was the final frontier. It is not. Consciousness is just another step on the road. Consciousness is a level that you use to express yourselves here on this planet. It is your means of creation. And that's why when you add energy to consciousness, you actually create reality. But is consciousness really the last grasp, the last spurt of the ladder? It isn't. There is a place, dear ones, where all reality, all potential, all energy, all consciousness, all mind, all pain, all love and all hate and everything you know and have known and will ever known is in a state of constant self-creation. And this is the nonsensic field. It is this place where nothing makes sense. For it is being experienced and non-experienced at the same time. This is beyond neutral. This is beyond the beyond. This is a place where you, with your minds as they are today, and your bodies and your experience, will never actually grasp the truth for. And this isn't necessary. If you knew this truth, if you had experienced this truth, oh, believe me, you wouldn't be in this body right now. So this nonsensic field, dear ones, this is what we will continue to talk about after the break. And I will show you then how to use your senses to actually install the dolphin brain. And finally today, as we will go into the principles of love and the principles of Venus, I will show you a way to make your lives less complex and to make all this information less complex. And this way will be called the umbilical cord between the central sun of this universe and the central sun of your own private universe, right here in the center of your Akane. It will be basically a replacement, but this will be something that we will build in the course of the next few weeks. It will be a replacement of 144 strains of DNA, complex information about your multi-dimensional self. It will just be poured into this one experience of an umbilical cord between you and all that is. It will be the first step. The only reason why we can only install this now is you need a dolphin brain to do this. You cannot experience all that is with a limited brain that is only concerned with the past and knowing the past. Anyway, know that you are loved beyond measure, beyond comprehension. So, dear ones, know that I will return shortly, and we will continue changing and weaving your world. And so it is.